So something funny. I've been on Instagram for a pretty long time now.
Yeah.
Like 2 years, aggressively trying to build a community. And I'd say over this past 8 months, it's grown quite a bit. But I've tried a lot of different ways to, get posts to be seen more, to get more interaction. One of those things I've done is like I used to make videos, like 60-second videos, random factoids. I used to do high-profile comic sales. I used to do
Razor, who's got the razor? I mean,
exactly.
right. I mean, cool, funny stuff, but lots and lots of videos that took
Yeah.
lots of time and lots of editing and lots of thought. And I mean, Tom,
Yeah.
you were releasing 8 to 10 of these little 1-minute videos a day, and it just was a lot.
Yeah, I did a bunch. I did a bunch, and it was cool. I grew a community, and some posts would get 100 views, some would get 150 views, some would get 50 views.
Right.
Unboxing, loot crates, unboxings do pretty well too.
Sure.
But I had an idea. I'm like, hey, I'm here removing a sticker, and there's like all these different ways that I know how to remove a sticker from a comic because sometimes a hairdryer is best. Yeah. Sometimes using some type of solution's better. I'm using maybe a blade or something, and I was scraping not scraping the comic, but scraping the sticker off of a book that was just heavy glue, and I posted that on Instagram, and it got like 10 times the views in maybe 2 hours than any one of the videos that I would have done in that other way.
That's awesome.
And all I did was I did a video of the blade slowly going through the sticker,
Right.
to remove it from the book. So now I'm like, okay, well, I got to like rethink my Instagram entirely. Maybe I need to put more like aesthetically pleasing visuals in like my comic book repair that I do.
Right.
But I get a lot of books that have stickers on them, and most of them come from one place.
Yes. So, if you are fortunate enough to live in one of these 17 states that has a half-price books, you will know what we are talking about. Half-price books is single-handedly the place that has caused me and Tom to learn how to effectively remove stickers, because half-price books generally has these amazing clearance bins, 25-cent bin, 10-cent bin, depending on what region you live in, and every single one of the comics has a sticker right on the front. And I can't tell you how many times I have found something in the 25-cent bin that's probably a $20, $30, $40 book that I'm going, now I'm going to have to work for it.
Yep. So we got to thinking, let's talk about half-price books.
Absolutely. Well, Half-Price Books is a good place. And again, I think they're based out of Texas, but we have 11 different ones in the Pacific Northwest. They're in California. They're in Wisconsin. They're in Iowa. There are lots and lots of different half-price book states. And as they state, generally, they sell books for half price of whatever the original cover price was. So if you have a hardcover and it's $20, they'll sell it for $10. Collectible books are a little bit stickier.
Yeah, comics
deal.
are not half price.
Sometimes they are, though.
Sometimes, not as much recently out here, but
No, not as much recently, but they have a lot of collections coming in. I have a good friend of mine who went to the half-price books in Crossroads, and I used to know the book buyer out there, and the book buyer used to give me calls and say, hey, Russ, we got a collection in, why don't you come on down? And he got moved to be regional book buyer, and now he doesn't help me anymore because he's off doing other larger things. But we had a collection come in, and I was unable to get there on time, but my buddy Jeff went down there, and he got a New Mutants 98 for half off cover price. So he paid 50 cents for what was currently a $100 book for a New Mutants 98. And it had a sticker on the cover, but he had to remove it. And on the other side, we found back issues in the Everett one that are probably $2, $3 books that they've marked at $30, $40.
shout out to Jeff, by the way, your homie.
Yeah, good to see you, bud. I know you follow. But absolutely, just being able to do this and go to half-price books. And they've got a large sidewalk sale coming up this weekend. And I don't know how many other states they do this in, but the sidewalk sale is a great way to just fill up bags. I know, Tom, oh my gosh.
I had a crazy experience.
Yours was, yeah, definitely.
So like last year, there was a couple half-price bookstores locations in Seattle. The one not on University.
The Capitol Hill was the big one.
Yeah, it was a big one on Capitol Hill. And this was the story. I got a text because I was at a work function in Seattle, maybe 10 minutes away from there, that said, hey, half-price books on Capitol Hill announced they're closing today. Like, they announced that day, hey, we're closing up. come fill a bag. We got to blow this place out.
And they had been closing for almost a year. They had 10% off, 15% off, 20% off, 22.5% off, 27.5%. I mean, it was one of those like they're eking every single penny. So we never knew when it was going to close at all. So the fact that you got a drop of the hat, it's happening today mention, oh my God, go jump on it.
So I left work early. I totally lied to get out of work. Left. Went to the.
You're such a good employee, Tom.
I know it's bad. It's bad. Went to the store, and at that, I walk into the store, and the employees looked so pissed. They looked hurt. They looked wounded. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, we found out today. So like, grab whatever you can and fill it up, and whatever you can fill in.
So they didn't even know.
They didn't even know. And the tote bags. So a half price book tote bag. It looks like a standard like. Kind of small size tote bag you get at a grocery store. It's probably about like this big and no more wide than like maybe that much. You know what? I could fit an entire stack of books like this comic books flat. So that's how big, how deep this went. And she says, yeah, you fill up that bag, whatever you can fill up in there, it's $20 in the whole store. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, anything in the store? She's like, yeah. And I look around and there's all these people there. And they're shopping. They're walking around really slow. They're looking and they're like, I don't know if I like this bookmark. I'm gonna put that back. I'm gonna look at that. I don't know if I want this bookmark. And they're going through. And I'm like, anything in the store? She's like, yeah. So you put it in the bag and it fills up the bag. You just $20 for everything in the bag.
Right.
So I'm like, wait, anything in the store? And she's like, yeah. So I went and I'm like, okay, the same person that's like looking at bookmarks. As soon as I walked away, I'm like, okay. And I took all the bookmarks. All of the bookmarks that they had. Yeah. I own so many bookmarks to this day because of this. I don't know what I'll ever do with bookmarks, but anyways, I fill up the bag and then I went to the comic section. I know that right there. I have like 30 of these.
They're super cool looking.
They're just
great.
notebooks.
Yeah.
We do all of our scripting on them, but we have like 30 of them because I just.
Right. And from half price books, they were 8 cents a piece because you just were buying every single one they had.
And then video games. I filled up 24 tote bags, and they weren't just to brim; they were overflowing.
Yeah. So for reference, the Capitol Hill, I don't know exact square footage, easily 10,000 square feet.
Oh,
it
two
was
stories.
A top story and a bottom story, and it was like new books and records upstairs, and video games and old fiction and comic books downstairs.
Right.
Most of the comic books, anything really valuable, had been
that was gone.
Gutted. I mean,
people
already bought it at 50% off, at 20% off, whatever.
Or they shipped them to the other stores.
Right, because they knew that they could. But.
Yeah, but like anything that they have in like the jewel case that was worth money. But I got like, I mean, you saw the games that I had. We brought back boxes of Xbox 360, Xbox, PlayStation 2. Right. We had Dreamcast games, like just literally everything that was there. People were just shopping, and I didn't even care. I just threw them in the bag and kept on going. But then I'm checking out, and we have all of the bags lined up, and I like condensed them. So I'm like, I had to like, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm just like filling up. I'm going to have to organize it later. And then I organized it, and I'm thinking, how am I going to fit this in my car? But we get into the line, and the guy's like, all right, he counts it all up, and he's like, he's so mad. He's like, yeah, good man. Good. I hope you buy all this stuff. You should come back if we have any more. I'm like, he was kind of pissed. And he's like, all right. I'm like, it's supposed to be like $20 a bag, right? And he totaled it. He's like, all right, that's $20 a bag. Well, half off of 20 is 10. So that's $200. This fucking place. And he just like rings up my car. And the thing is he didn't even give me a chance to like acknowledge that he did that. He just was so like bitter. He's like, all right, well, then that's going to be $200. And he does that. And he just gave it to me $10 a bag. And I'm like, wait, did that just happen?
I'm going to go back and buy more.
And the thing is that I felt super compelled to like get rolling because there's so many people waiting for me because I'm holding up the line. I have like this whole line of stuff.
You're the asshole who just bought half the store and you're holding up the line for these people who want one bookmark.
Yeah. But anyways, I got all that stuff. But yeah, Half Price Books. It's a cool place. That seldomly happens, but there's a store. They do like an annual purge of inventory out their warehouse, which actually happens pretty soon. It's coming up this month.
Yeah.
But it's also just a cool place to go hunting. I like bringing people who have never hunted before, I think I brought Slav there. Yeah. Ryan's been there with me. And we go through looking for books. You found some cool books there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the best finds for me are always when I find something in the clearance section. I found first print Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, 5, and 6.
Very cool. With wraparound covers?
With 25 cents. I know. That's super cool. With 25 cents and the Michelangelo one-shot.
Oh,
so
heck yeah.
Some super
Casey
cool
Jones.
stuff. Yeah.
No, that's not it. That's the Raphael.
Oh, the Raphael one. Yeah, but I picked up a bunch of like the early, Ninja Turtle stuff. And I mean, what else?
You got a Next Men 21?
I did. I got a Next Men 21 there, and I think it was $3 or $4. I got X Factor 24, so first Archangel. I mean, you never really know what you're gonna find. Couple times a year, sign up for their newsletter. It's half price. HPB.com. You can sign up for their newsletter. They send out coupons. You'll get a coupon that is 50% off one item. But you can print it and use that 50% off one item at every single store in your region. So if you're really good and you can hit Everett and Linwood and Seattle and Crossroads and Tukwila and Redmond and you kind of do the rounds, you can get something really nice if you need to go. If you're really looking at that Akira box set that would normally be $200 and you can get it for $100. Fantastic. I kicked myself for doing it. I almost bought a first edition signed Kurt Vonnegut book, and it was marked at $500, and with the 50% off, it's $250 because it's 50% off with no limit. So, I mean, you can get some massive deals if you know what to look for. But, I mean, even at half-price books, I always recommend people to go there for role-playing books because especially the one in Everett has an amazing selection on D&D and Pathfinder and all of these other books. And while I haven't found as many good comic book deals at that one, the ones on the east side I've definitely found better comic book deals at. So, even if you're going in there and their clearance section is great as well. Normal clearance sections, you can go in there and they'll have trade paperbacks normally $18, $20 that are $2, $3, $4, $5. And if you're just looking to read, I mean, it's just as cheap to be able to take home. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, half price books. We recommend highly, and if you happen to be in an area that's next to one, you should check it out. Hey, you should leave the comment down below if you have a half-price books next to you and you have a great story. We'd love to hear it. We might even do a follow-up.
Yeah, we'll post it on here. We want to hear about your stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or if it's not half-price books, maybe another small bookstore that you get your comics at that you want to shout out.
Absolutely.
Put it in the comment section below.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about your local comic book area, any type of discounting place. I know Hastings just went out of business, but there's lots of other places like that. Yeah, tell us your stories.
Yeah, always want to make sure to like and subscribe to the video and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out when we do post.
Yeah, and remember to geek responsibly.
Enough said. This is a shameless merch plug because we now have merch. Geek Responsibly shirts. If you want to help support the podcast, go to geekstreet101.com, buy a shirt. We also have BCW store folios. Keep your comic books safe at conventions. And we'll also send you a Geek Responsibly sticker. You can slap that on anywhere so you can geek responsibly anytime.